Hey team, Brady from DIomgY here. I know it's been a long time. I apologize. It's been a hard couple of weeks. Please listen to the podcast to find out why, but we had some issues. Not necessarily with the remodel, but with the city and the permit office and things like that. So you can hear about that in the latest DIomgY. But I needed to get an update in because this is the last day, hopefully, that the walls will be exposed. We have drywallers coming tomorrow morning, bright and early, and I wanted to show you guys the progress. So since the last time we spoke, we've done a few things that didn't really look like much was going on. We had the framing done, we had the spray and insulation done, but really the shape of everything hadn't changed much. The floor was already done, all that sort of stuff. So what I've done since then is all the electrical up here is run and roughed in. So we've got all the new boxes, all of the smoke detector and overhead lights are in. And we also did all the plumbing. So it's really not a lot to look at, especially now that the floor is in the bathroom and you can't actually see the pipes. But, you know, I was just so wasted after doing all the work that I didn't really feel like making a video. So here's my catch-up video, and then we'll try to pick this up as we move on because we're now kind of into a mad dash for the finish with a lot of vendor work, so I'll have a little more time. So let's check it out. So one of the biggest things you can see right above me is our Slimline air conditioner. It's a Mitsubishi model, and that was installed by the same guys who did my gas install, PV Air, here in Fort Collins, Colorado. This is going to be really nice. We don't have air conditioning in our house. We don't even have like a central heat furnace or anything like that. We have baseboard heating. So this is kind of the only air handling object in the house besides windows. It's going to be very nice. It gets hot up here in the summer. Hopefully the insulation will help with that, but this is really going to take the brunt. We did as much insulation as we could to really keep the cost down on this thing, but we knew that we wouldn't be comfortable up here, kind of sleeping up here during the summer without any sort of additional cooling. So hopefully it doesn't have to run much, but it can cool down this place really quick. I have run it. It runs great. It runs quiet. Man, these things are super quiet. It only has like a 40-watt motor in here, so the motor's super and the blower are super quiet. It's got the little oscillating fan to move the air around. It's pretty cool. But that was mounted after the framing was done, so they could have complete access to run the coolant lines and the drain lines down and outside. Once that was in, it was really time to work on the bathroom, so let's head in there. So really it's quite difficult to get this room on in frame in the camera, but it's quite small, so you can kind of see it looks like I'm taking up the whole room, but this is the bathroom. I leveled the floor in here. I rerouted all of the drains. I actually brought all the drains and the vents up to code, which is kind of a running theme with a lot of stuff in here. A lot of things were done pretty crappy, and so we were bringing them up to code as we went along, which is part of the reason why we had to do a little more work than we expected. So we moved the toilet to give us more room for the shower. We moved the shower to make it bigger, and we moved the sink because it wouldn't fit over here at all. Previously, the sink, the toilet, and the shower were all on one side, and we just kind of open space on the other over here, on the north side, or the south side, sorry. But now we moved the toilet closer to the door, the shower expanded greatly, and the sink's on the south side. So it kind of gives us a little more room for the big shower, because previously it was a little standalone fiberglass, kind of not attached to anything, rickety little like telephone booth almost. But now it's going to be, it's got a 48-inch shower pan in it, as well as a step and a seat, which will be really nice to make it feel a lot bigger inside of the shower. Ran new supply plumbing, ran new drain, ran new heater plumbing. All of that is underneath this floor. The mechanical access is down below. Reframed it, moved one wall a foot. Everything else is essentially where it was. All new insulation, all new electrical. Actually adding a vent fan, which is another thing that wasn't to code. No windows, no fan. This bathroom was essentially just a condensation chamber. We got a new vent fan right above me. And all that's left is to drywall it, and then we can... all that's left is to... all that's left before we can start finishing is the drywall. So the drywall comes in, and then we can start putting up, you know, the vapor barrier and the backer board and start tiling everything. This is one of the critical path items. Need a toilet up here, and then might as well get a sink in around the same time. Those are the two easiest things. We need to get the floor down, which will be a tile floor, which you can see, or which you will see. Toilet and sink vanity can go in, countertop and all that. The shower is going to be one of those things that it's a big project. It's going to take a long time. It's just going to have to be pulled off the critical path. A very functional shower that we use right now downstairs. It's just going to have to be the way it is. So that'll be later on, but we'll move up here before that's done. Very, very, very soon after the toilet and the sink are done. And speaking of insulation, we've talked about it on the podcast a lot, but our roof deck on the angled sides all the way down to the eave got 3 to 4 inches of spray foam, closer to 3, but sometimes 4, sometimes in certain areas like 5, and then 2 to 3 inches of dense packed cellulose. It's given us right around our 30 value, which is really nice because previously at the very best I think it was 13. So we're almost, we're getting up like 2.5 times our original R value, which is greatly needed. I wouldn't be too convinced. I didn't do the demo in here. It was all doing the asbestos guy, so I actually didn't see if there was insulation behind the walls. I wouldn't be very surprised if there was none. It was very hot up here and very cold up here. So that was done by a professional because it was the spray foam. I didn't want to mess it up, and I'd just waste a bunch of money doing it myself. I know this is DIomgY, but you gotta be a little practical. They do sell take-it-home kits. I wasn't gonna mess with it. We also then, once that was done, all the framing was done, we're ready to insulate before drywall. We insulated all the knee walls and the ceiling ourselves. So in the knee walls, I did all those with 2x6s, so we got R19 in those. In the ceiling, I did R19 in between the ceiling joists, R19 along the roof deck up above, and then in between that R30. So we're looking like almost R70 in our ceiling, which would be very nice on the heating bill in the winter time, because that's where all the heat's going to go. So I really insulated the crap out of it up there, tried to eliminate as many air gaps as possible, just to cut down on air movement, which will help. It costs us like $100 extra to put the extra layer in of R30, and that really beefs up the insulation up there. You can see behind me, this is the office wall. We've got a different insulation in here. This is Safe and Sound by Roxol, which is a spun rock wool insulation, and this is supposed to be sound deadening. So it's a 2x4 wall. My office will be on the other side. I work late at night. My wife goes to sleep earlier than I do, and so making the podcast, making videos, playing video games, all that sort of stuff makes noise. The bedroom and the office are very close to each other. They share a wall, but it's just that's like 10 feet to where my computer is going to be. So we try to put our best bet at keeping the noise down. So we're going to do this Roxol insulation, a solid core door. I'm probably switching to full-time headphones as opposed to my speakers, but that's the way it's got to be. So in a few places up here, we tried to give us some access to use what is quite a bit of floor space that is actually inside these knee walls. So we have one here, we have one in the office to give us access back behind. The whole square footage up here is like 515, but the entire floor space that I floored was actually like 700. So there's almost 200 square feet of dead space up here. It's got 3 to 0 foot ceilings, but that's okay for a box. You can just stuff whatever you want in there. So we've framed in an access hatch, if you will, here and in the office, to try to maybe utilize some of that space for long-term, very long-term storage, keepsake items and things like that. The space behind there is completely conditioned. It's insulated on all 3 sides because it's a triangle, and so I don't think there's any issue for water ingress or freezing or anything like that. I think it should be nice and warm in there. It might be a little hot just because there's no ventilation in that space, but maybe we don't put pictures back there. So thanks for joining me on this update video. There should have been some b-roll footage. If you have any questions, please contact us at DIomgY, Twitter, Facebook, email, DIomgY@gmail.com. Make sure you check out the podcast. If you're coming from my stream, I should be streaming again soon. But I appreciate you guys hanging out and checking out the other content I've been producing while I haven't had a chance to get out in the shop. So hopefully I'll have some more videos coming out relatively soon on how the drywall and the carpet and the trim work is going, as well as a lot of work in the bathroom, which I think will be interesting. How to tile in a shower, plumbing in a shower, bringing in the vanity and toilet, stuff like that. And yeah, I'll keep you all updated on how the vendors are doing. and then the work that I have to do, and when we actually move up here, and at what point we will move up here because we have a new baby or whatever seems to happen. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Sorry again for the delay between videos, but I hope you guys stick around. Please subscribe and like if you enjoyed it. Thank you.